Hello YouTube, and welcome to this other episode, the second of the series about the Maxsym 609. I promised you I would have done another video, so here I am. Today is very cold. I will show you in a second. Tonight went something like -4 centigrade, and I'm very curious to know how the scooter resisted this night. It has been still for something like 3 days, and it is in the open. It's always in the open, no cover, nothing, and it went under zero. So soon I will do a startup test, and so I will show you. So as you see, there are still remainings of ice. Yeah, it went under zero big time. Yeah, so soon I will start it. I'll just unlock it. As you see, it's safely anchored, and I need to unlock it. I will put it on the center stand, and yeah, I'm very curious myself. How long does it take to start? Just a second, guys. Hold on. All right, guys. Maxsym is now on the center stand. I didn't start it yet, so I will do a real video as usual. You know that I like the real video stuff, unlike the fake prepare stuff. So I will try to start it. It's very cold, so there you go. Okay, side stand is away. Brake. Normally it should be 2 rounds, maximum 4 before it starts. Let's see. Wow. 2 rounds. 2 rounds and it starts. Fantastic. This is really a great scooter, guys. Every day, doesn't matter what. And you can see, I mean, it has been in the open all this time. It was really cold. So really cool. Now, if you stay tuned, I will use this opportunity to tell you what other things I discovered. I hope I remember everything I wanted to tell you. So just stay tuned. Give me a second. I will prepare. Alright, guys, the sun is very low, so I hope you will read it anyway. The scooter has traveled 6,165 kilometers, okay? And it is, yeah, normal routing, so a lot of highway, a lot of city. I'm using basically every day for work, and rarely for pleasure, since it is so bloody cold. I am not really enjoying very much riding with this temperature. Is below zero. It starts to become quite tricky. So what I discovered in the meantime, well, I can confirm all the first impressions. Braking is still exceptional. The braking problem I told you about, so this some kind of shaking. The front brake is still there, but it is less. So, and it is really not. I mean, I experienced it now for all the time, and it doesn't bother me at all. It's just one of those features of a motor scooter. So it's not disturbing. It's just the way it is, and I suppose eventually one day I will figure out a way to eliminate it. One thing I discovered is to refill the tires with air is a bit of a challenge, guys. I mean, as you can see, there is basically no space here to put the equipment you need to refill the tires, so you have to play a lot with the valve here. This flexible is obviously here. You can bend it, and you can modify its position, but it's still a bit of a challenge. Both the front tire and the rear tire, when you go to refill air, be prepared for some for some engineering challenge. It's not an easy thing, but it is perfectly doable. Okay, so what else? Brakes, that one. Weather protection is indeed very good. The only thing that I still have problems with when I ride the 130 kilometers or 2 hours driving in very cold conditions is really the tip of my fingers. I don't have any problem with feet or the rest of the body. I don't use anything heated of any kind apart from the front hand grips. These are heated, but they're not heated enough. They are not strong enough. So it helps, but even with a double glove, I get the tip of my fingers are sometimes getting really cold. Is the only part of my body which suffers a bit. Also, the protection on the foot and the legs is very good. No problem whatsoever. Really, really good. CVT is still doing the same. It didn't get much better, but again, it's one of those features of a motorcycle you get used to. Sometimes it vibrates a bit. I don't know exactly why, but it doesn't really matter. It's just the way it is. Not bothering. I did while driving, especially long distances, I did take care of noticing if I was experiencing any numbness on my hands or feet because of vibrations, and the answer is negative. I do not feel any numbness. So, and I noticed that that the mirrors are very stable, are very visible. So the vibrations I feel on the CVT are really something that is very limited and very localized behind around the engine, and it doesn't transmit to the front part of the scooter. So no problem whatsoever there. So since it rained a lot, I had a lot of riding pleasure on wet roads, particularly cobblestones. Where I'm working, it's a city that is full of cobblestones and tram rails. When they are wet, they are really slippery, and I had to maneuver in traffic for quite some time. Braking is still extremely reliable, and the scooter, even in those circumstances, which are quite prohibitive. I mean, there is people falling from a bicycle driving on those bloody cobblestones. Never had a problem. Never had a problem. It's really stable, and it is very reliable, very balanced. So it's really, really good. Okay, so one time because of my fault and one time because of bad luck, I dropped the scooter, one on the left side and one on the right side. Yeah, it was bad, but it was good because I could actually notice if the build quality is good or not. Nothing. I mean, it was a crash test, right? Couldn't be clearer. This is the damage. All the damage I got on the left side. It went down, not on speed. It was still fall, just from the side stand. And this is what happened. Nothing else. I mean, perfect. Really cool. That's it. Full fall. And on the other side, exactly the same. This is all the damage I got. So not a chip on the paint. This is just dirty. Not a chip on the paint. Nothing. It's I mean, if there is something like a good build quality, that's it. It resisted the crash test very nicely. Just went down, guys. So one thing I wanted to mention that you have to take care of is the side stand. Side stand is short and the inclination is not that great, so do not trust it too much, especially if you're not absolutely sure you're on absolutely flat ground and you don't use the hand rem, the handbrake. Yeah, it went off the side stand on me once. That's why it felt on the left side, and the right side, yeah, it was my fault. I lost balance. But the side stand is something you have to be wary of. If you can, try to use the center stand as much as possible because it's much more stable, much more reliable, especially when you fill in the tires. Do use the center stand. The other thing I discovered is that that box has been a much better idea than what I thought. Also because when I felt, so when the scooter dropped, I noticed it actually helps in avoiding that the tail hits the ground. So you see here the scratches. This is the results of that fall on this side. And on the other side, well, on the other side it didn't practically touch anything. But this is very useful. I mean, if you have a box like this, more or less these dimensions, which is more or less as wide as the scooter itself, it helps also to mitigate the damage you might get from a fall. So if you drop the motorcycle, that helps a lot. Okay, what else? Let's see, is this off? Yeah, it's off. Saddle is very, very comfortable. It remains very, very comfortable. Really, 2 hours continuous riding is no issue whatsoever. It's fine. Suspensions are good, no problem whatsoever. Oh yeah, there is one thing that I noticed as well, refilling. So this is the refilling thingy, which is frozen now. Oh, this is frozen. I will have to defreeze it. Anyway, leave it. It's just frozen, guys. It's really cold. So anyway, that cover is also engineered in a strange way because you have to maneuver a bit with the with the gasoline refilling device in order to find the right spot. It's the space available is a bit limited. So that's also something that I noticed, and I thought, wow, come on, they could have engineered that better. It's yeah, it's one of those things, not disturbing, but you have to realize that when you go to refill, it's you might have to spend a few seconds more just finding the right position and to find your way there. It's okay. Another thing that I did on the scooter is I succeeded to fit this kind of universal box thingy where you can put your phone and use it as a navigator. And is actually the whole concoction is actually not made for scooters. It's made for motorcycles. It was made for all motorcycles, as a matter of fact, and I took it off. And it's funny because I succeeded to fit it. So the attachment here, this part, hold on. Voila. So this attachment here that you see has been actually fitted to the attachment of the mirror. So you can see it here more or less. I basically, instead of attach it on the handlebar, on a horizontal handlebar, I attach it on a vertical piece here, and like this. See? And I succeeded to fit it, and it works very well. It was funny. And then I had to modify a bit this kind of thing that is attaching to the box. So if should it get off this attachment, it doesn't fall on the ground because it's is anchored like this as well. So I had to do some work here. But actually, if you have one of those attachments like this ones, this kind of model, you can fit it. You can fit it on the mirrors. It's kind of interesting. It works. It works really well. Another thing that I noticed is consumption of fuel. I read on public sources this scooter is supposed to travel 20 kilometers with 1 liter of gas on average. And I can confirm it. It's more or less there. There is a substantial difference when you drive in cities or on highway. And there is a substantial difference when you travel at 4,000 RPMs or 5,000 RPMs. It's the consumptions are going up exponentially. But even on high RPMs, consumption is still very good in my opinion. It is for what it delivers. It is doing an excellent job. On that particular aspect, the fuel indicator, you must realize the maximum is not really the maximum and the minimum is not really the minimum. When you fill the tank completely, the needle goes above the upper limit, and when you are in reserve, really a lot in reserve, the needle goes under the red lines, more or less as you see it now. Now it is off. Okay, so that's the instrumentation must be must be interpreted a bit. Yeah, what else? Yeah, heated grips. They're doing a decent job, but they're not strong enough. And yeah, the package continues to remain really good, really stable, and really safe. I tested actually because I wanted to eliminate this vibration on the front brakes. I tested the ABS a number of times, really heartbreaking. I did it expressly in safe conditions, but I really tested it to the max. I didn't succeed to get rid of the vibration, but I could verify how strong those brakes are. They are really powerful, and the ABS is really good. So yeah, after 6,000 and so many kilometers, this is still a fantastic scooter. And yeah, I'm looking on the market to see if there is anything like this else than the Burgman, and I can't find anything else than this. I think this is really a unique scooter for this price and with this quality. It's really unique, and I'm really happy about that. It ticks almost all the boxes I could possibly imagine. Soon I will bring it to the garage for the second check, and yeah, I will see if there is anything strange coming out of it, but it is riding very well. So no, I don't expect anything strange to come out of it. It remains a fantastic scooter, guys. So I intend to update you on how, how is it going regularly, as regularly as I can. Now I will not be able to drive for a while because the roads are frozen. I mean, there is ice on the streets, and I don't intend to get an accident driving in these conditions. But in time I will do other videos. If you have any questions, or if you have comments, if you have curiosities or whatever, please let me know, because I'm doing these videos for fun because I like it, but also for you guys. I mean, if you have questions, you just let me know, and comments or whatever, just put it down, and if you can put a like as well, that would be nice. And subscribe so you will be informed when I post other articles and other insights about this fantastic scooter.